Rosarian Academy, as we see it today, has evolved through many changes over its storied and interesting history. The Roaring Twenties was a time of change for many parts of the country. Bishop Barry was inspired to create the first Catholic educational institution. Four sisters from the Adrian Dominican Convent answered the call and created the St. Anne on the Lake Academy in 1925. The generous aid of Colonel and Miss Bradley provided out-of-town female boarders with new accommodations at Bradley Hall by September of 1925. With classes in full swing and girls finding a safe and welcoming home, the future looked bright. In 1928, however, a true challenge would come in the form of a hurricane. The two towers of Bradley Hall were destroyed. With the economic challenges that unknowingly lay ahead, it would take until 1934 to complete proper repairs on the hall and open once again for classes and boarders. But St. Anne's pulled through, and by 1935, enrollment doubled. Soon, boys were offered the opportunity to achieve a St. Anne's education during the day. These boys and girls would see St. Anne's on the Lake become Rosarian Academy in 1939 in honor of the mother of the Academy's generous benefactor, Anne Bradley.
Rosarian Academy entered the 1940s firmly established and ready to grow further. With a $2,000 home loan, Casa Hermosa was purchased to house an increasing number of boarding students, some from South America. With an increasing population, the school's reputation grew with it. Important members of the clergy traveled to Rosarian Academy during these years. With such recognition, the Academy also achieved many important accreditations, including that of the state of Florida and the Catholic University. With hopeful and optimistic hearts, the community of Rosarian Academy ended the decade breaking ground on a beautiful new chapel and classroom building.
The Academy's incredible growth spurt continued into the 1950s. The Yacht Club was purchased in 1951, providing room for an auditorium, more classrooms, showers and lockers for day students, and 2 apartments for faculty. In 1952, Rosarian received the help of Judy Garland to raise $35,000. In 1953, the State Department Office of Education provided funds, and the Academy hosted 21 educators from around the world for the purpose of observing the superior educational methods of Rosarian firsthand. Over the next few years, Lewis Hall and Harrington Apartments were added to the campus. In 1959, a swimming pool and bathhouse were added as well. Also, a new emphasis on the arts found students participating in spectacular stage productions.
The larger theater of American society underwent great social and political change in the 1960s. Rosarian Academy was no exception. In 1963, the Academy broke ground for the new state-of-the-art Margaret Ty Macklin Fine Arts Center. During this period, the Academy's choral was also visited by major recording artists, Perry Como and Ray Charles. New thought about the educational structure of the school was entertained, and forward-thinking programs like language labs and a guidance department were introduced. Boarders below the 7th grade were eliminated, and kindergarten was phased out. The Academy continued to innovate and evolve throughout the 1970s and 1980s. The elementary school was completely phased out in 1972, only to be re-established in 1985. A Montessori school for small children was started in 1974. The high school that had begun in 1925 saw its last year in 1991, only a year before the graduation of the first co-ed 8th grade class. Rosarian Academy expanded for the last time during the 20th century with the acquisition of the Meyer House on 8th Street.
Rosarian spent 75 years finding its identity as a premier educational center in Palm Beach County. The 21st century would find the little school on the lake bigger and more hopeful than ever before. Modernization of the facilities, enhancements to the academic program, and strengthening of business development all contributed to a roaring start to a new era. Today, the faculty, staff, parents, students, and many supporters of Rosarian Academy continue to expand and strengthen this wonderful school with the unwavering support of the Adrian Dominican Sisters. As an institution founded in the Catholic tradition, Rosarian Academy has experienced a great deal of change through the years, yet its principles have remained the same. The Rosarian community has always placed an emphasis on strong moral and spiritual values, intellectual growth, and civic-minded responsibility. The future may hold good fortune or difficult challenges, but no matter what we may face, these guiding tenets will continue to push us forward into a new age of excitement and learning.
It's very important for me to see my child become well-rounded. And I think Rosarian really brings that to a child in academics, faith, athletics, and just social interaction. As long as they are fulfilled and aware in all those aspects of life and they come out happy, that's all I really care about. And I think Rosarian builds a happy child.
I would tell them that academically, Rosarian is amazing. We have strong academics. Our athletics are great. We have great specials. The children will be enriched with art and music and drama. But also, I would go back to the faith. We're a family. If you're looking for an environment where your child's going to be loved, cared for, and nurtured, the whole child, this is a place to be.
I think the most important thing that Rosarian offers is the connection between our faith and our academics. And for the student, for a new parent who's just not sure, I think they need to look at us as the whole picture. And I think if you're unsure and you want you're looking for a place where your young student can come and feel comfortable about being in touch with their faith, while also just being a kid, I think this is the place.
I had the privilege of teaching a number of Rosarian graduates when I taught at a local private high school. And I was on the admissions committee at that high school, actually, and I think this is sort of a perfect microcosm of sort of that intangible that you think of when you think of a Rosarian graduate. We would always get, obviously, a number of applications from schools all over the area, the region, the country. And anytime we got a Rosarian application, everybody kind of, took a sigh of relief, because we knew that that student was, A, going to be a good citizen of the school. We knew that that student was going to be very well prepared from an educational standpoint. And we knew ultimately that that was just going to be a good kid and an enjoyable kid to teach.
You can't go a whole lot of places that will teach you that, and they will pull out the best in you. And I think that that's one thing that we'll never lose here. We've got a lot of new buildings, we've got a beautiful facility, but the basics are always going to stay the same. And if you're looking for a good education, to have your children taught what's right from what's wrong, to do the right thing, to believe in God, and just treat others like you want to be treated. I think this is the most amazing school there is around.
Sure. Rosarian prepared me extraordinarily well for the next chapters of my life. From an educational perspective, I was certainly better prepared for high school than a majority of my peers. I graduated as valedictorian from Cardinal Newman High School, and I credit that so much to the solid foundation that I received from Rosarian's superb teachers and curriculum. But I do think, more importantly, Rosarian instilled in me a strong sense of confidence of integrity, maturity. And those qualities prepared me to act as a leader and pursue my own path in all aspects of my life going forward. And I will be forever grateful for that.
The spirit of Rosarian is just, you can't really explain it, but people who are here and who have been here know it. Rosarian does so much good for our community because it graduates successful, kind, nurturing young men and women, and they move on in their life, and both of my children will tell you that Rosarian was the most important thing in their life.
The academics were challenging in the best way possible because they really prepared me and shaped me for high school and allowed me to grow more there.
I went on to, after I graduated from UVA, to work in New York City, and I've worked for publicly traded companies, I've worked for entrepreneurial companies and helped get them off the ground. And I feel like, yes, Rosarian gave me that academic background, but with that, I also gained these lifelong skills, such as, these confidence building skills that really prepared me for that next phase of my life.
Our family in particular has been very involved with the school community. And for us, it was part of the decision for us to come here. We wanted an institution where our kids not only got a great education, had outlets to additional things such as athletics and drama, but also where the community was nurturing, and we could really feel involved with the total effort of the school. It's important to have everybody come together and really be aligned on what the institution is trying to do. And for us, the community has been amazing, been fantastic. The friendships we've built, the friends we've met through the school community, which we think we'll have forever.
We do a lot of research to various options that were available to us here, as similar to how we did a lot of research when we were looking in New York. We did the same diligence here. From having been in New York schools for several years, there's always a concern about quality of education outside of New York. But most definitely can tell you firsthand on our two children that the quality is just equal and second to none, and that really is something to have a lot of confidence in.